I work from home a lot, and my current desk situation, as is a little sad. There isn't a lot of surface area. Visually, it's dark because everything is black, and there's just no decor or personality in this little corner where I spend 10 plus hours a day. So we're going to give it a little facelift. Peter is so kind as to inspect this console table I dragged out from the closet. It's been in there for 2 years. We used to move a lot, so as a renter, it's helpful to buy pieces that can be folded down and stored flat in case they don't fit into your latest space very well. Speaking of moving, someone did want to get out of the way. This is going to be so nice because now I will essentially have an L-shaped desk without having to go out and buy a whole piece of furniture. Now I'll have more desktop space for spreading out my notebooks, drinks, food, laptops, other things. And beneath will also be nice storage for my other tech items, our shredder, and my work bag. Moving on to the fun stuff, aka decorating and new things. I've been trying to be really intentional about making purchases lately, so the few things I got for this desk makeover all serve a purpose. I spent about $87, although I didn't end up needing the second roll of contact paper, so I'm going to return that. The contact paper mouse pad and the more aesthetic, ergonomic laptop stand all fall in my needs category for this project. The essential oil diffuser was definitely just a want. I was able to pull together some other things I already had to make this little corner my own. While I like the original color of the desk, the space overall was too dark and serious for me. The bread and butter of this desk makeover is using contact paper to one, brighten up the furniture, and two, make it all match. I give this paper a 3-star review after using it. I can tell it won't be that durable, but for this DIY, it did the trick. Also, to be fair, I didn't read the instructions and it's meant for cabinets. My manual rising desk, which I'm working on to cover first, has rounded corners, so I knew this would be tricky. Fortunately, I remembered I was an art major and have random tools like this X-Acto knife to help me do what the scissors couldn't. These are so sharp. Ideally, you're slicing away from your body 100% of the time. I'm using my fingers for stability. I know it looks like I'm going to cut myself, but it's actually out of harm's way. The X-Acto knife helped slice right up to the edge and was really satisfying on these long edges. Ultimately, the corners were tricky as anticipated and didn't turn out very cute. I got the not so brilliant idea to apply this contact paper to the edges of my standing desktop. In terms of longevity, this is definitely going to be the first thing that will need to get redone. I learned a lot along the way. Another old art student tool that came in handy for creasing down tiny edges is this bone folding tool. I thought it was called a fishbone, but Google didn't agree. Moving on, I tackled my old laptop stand, and that's essentially a mini version of what I just did, so that went a little bit more smoothly. I considered this to be my halfway point. Now I'm going to move on to my actual desks. My OG desk is another one of those pieces of furniture that can fold up super flat, and I've had it forever. I was a lot more excited about doing this because there were a lot of right angles, which seemed like it would go smoother than those rounded edges from before. During this application process, I had almost no issues with air bubbles at all. I was pleasantly surprised by how seamless the two big panels were able to blend together. Looking at this now in person and on the video, you can't even tell where there are two separate pieces of paper. Jumping right ahead to the last table, I was super pumped, clearly, that I had enough left in my roll. Moving on to final touches, I'm finally getting to decorate for real this time. Earlier was just a test run. I used my old laptop stand to elevate my decor, which consists of my diffuser and some cameras and fake plants. This created the perfect little cubby for my notebooks to slide in. The extra surface area has been really nice for being able to switch between my work and personal devices. Here I'm just setting aside my work stuff. I also decided to move what I consider to be my tech bin out of our main closet and underneath here for easier access before moving on to cable management. They were already pretty much as good as they were going to get, but I did have just one that was bothering me. My monitor and adapter are both work provided. The adapter has a USB-C, which works for both devices. The PC is for work. The Mac is my personal one. So I have this little Mac-friendly keyboard that I swap in when I'm using this space for personal stuff. My last touch is adding some artwork. This is pretty much the only wall stuff is hung up with nails in the apartment, not command strips, so I'm removing the nails here. I actually bought this piece a couple years ago for my work office, but brought it home because I felt like it fit the vibes. I'm using masking tape here to do that TikTok masking tape hanging stuff trick where you line up the masking tape and punch holes where the nails should go, and then you put it up on the wall. And then you have this perfectly leveled line. Here, I'm searching for my leveler, but then I remembered there was an app for that. I ultimately reused the nails and hooks that I had just taken out of the wall. I'm not sure if that's bad, but it's what happened. Once this was hung up, I didn't love other options that I had for additional wall art, so I think I'll just be leaving this up for now. For the final desk makeover reveal, it's time to remember where we started. Dark, cramped, not pleasant. And now I have so much more surface area to lay out my notebooks, devices, snacks, coffee. The lighter wood color and decor items really lighten the mood of this little corner. And I have a space that I'm going to feel good in. Odds are I'll have to reduce some of the contact paper and play around with the wall art more, but overall, I'm super happy.